Hello, you YouTube cunts. Today we're going to talk about the 7 hidden laws of the universe, as outlined by the Kybalion. The Kybalion is one of the many classic texts of the occult doctrine, but occult doesn't mean dark, by the way, it just means hidden knowledge. And these teachings supposedly help you understand the higher laws of the universe so that you can use them in order to get power on the lower planes, which is material reality. So we'll crack on, shall we? Hi, my name's Jack, and I'm recording this YouTube video today with an audience. I started this YouTube channel because I quite like talking about these things, and some of them have really helped me improve my life and change my mind, and go from being anxious as fuck to now being relatively mentally stable. So I thought I would combine my twin loves of talking shite and learning stuff into YouTube. Now, the first hermetic principle is the principle of mentalism. And this is that according to spiritual traditions, behind, below, above the physical, reality that we experience as time, space, change, there is like a fundamental truth that some people would call God, some people call Source, some people call, a million other things, Allah, but they call it the All. It's everything. And the Hermetics' first principle is that all is mind, which means that everything that we can see around us energetically, physically, matterly, can be thought of as part of an unknowable, unseeable, untouchable mind. And that the world of phenomenon, or 3D matter, is merely the mental creation of the All. The thinking goes that if all is mind, and we are part of the All, therefore we must, have the spark of the All, or God, within us, then it makes sense that if we're part of it, then we have the same power to do that, to create with our mind. Because if we're created from the mind and we're part of the mind, then we have a mind, and this mind has the power to do the same as the mind which created us. Does that fucking make sense? I hope. This is where the idea of manifestation comes from. Because if you think about it, every single thing in the universe first existed as a thought. There was no such thing as an iPhone until it popped into someone's head. There was no such thing as a cigar until it popped into someone's head. So literally everything in the universe has been created from the mind. So it's an interesting little one. That's the first one. The second hermetic principle of the universe is called the principle of correspondence. As above, so below. As below, so above. What happens in the macro affects what happens in the micro. If you think about, the macro being the seasons, the planets, those things affect stuff like the micro, which is our moods. Think of what happens when there's a full moon. Everyone becomes lunatics. Luna, moon, go crazy, lunatics. It affects our behaviour, and we're all very aware of it. And another way to think about this is your conscious and your subconscious mind. Whatever's going on in your subconscious mind is the thing which bubbles to the surface of your conscious mind. As above, so below. And therefore, conversely, you can also use the conscious to change the subconscious. As below, so above. You can do them both. The third principle of the universe is the principle of vibration. The principle states that nothing is ever standing still. Every single thing that you see in the universe is vibrating. The things that you see as solid matter are merely atoms and small particles which are vibrating at such a slow speed that they appear to us as solid matter. But if you zoomed into it, you would see that it's just energy vibrating. Which is why when you sit about and you do fuck all, you feel like shit, because you're going against one of the fundamental principles of the universe, that everything is in motion. And the differences in the way that, matter, energy, spirit, mind all present themselves is largely to do with the differences in the rate of vibration that they have. The more vibration you have, the more energy you have, the more power. If you think about a car, the more energy that's going into it, the more vibratory frequency it has, the faster it's going to go. The fourth principle of the Kybalion is the principle of polarity. If you looked at a thermometer, is there anywhere that you could possibly say where the heat stops and the cold starts? Like, at what point does it stop becoming cold and it start becoming hot? There is never any clear delineation. And that's because everything in the universe exists on two poles. It's one of the it's the same, but it's just different ends of the same, right? Day and night are opposites, but at what point does it become day and does it stop becoming night? Sharp and dull are opposites, but at what point do you draw the line? long and short, big or small, love or hate. There is never a clear point where one changes into the other. And thus we have the law of polarity. Now, recognising the law of polarity stops us from getting stuck in the extremes and acknowledging, the positive aspects that you find, and for example, the worst, dark night of the soul or worst things that's ever happened to you, is a way to use this law of polarity to recognise that it's neither good or bad. It's dependent on how you're framing it. And another way to look at it is the shadow aspect of yourself, about how we all have the good in us, but we all also have the bad in us. So if there's quote-unquote bad aspects of yourself which float to the surface, accept them, because, everyone experiences that. The next one is called the principle of rhythm. And that is that everything flows in and out, everything ebbs and flows. This goes for, emotions, societies, fucking trends, celebrities that people like. Everything goes up and down. The great powers of history have had rises and falls. The measure of the swing to the left is a measure of the swing to the right. There is always a balancing force, and that also comes back to the law of polarity, which we just spoke about, how it's always going from one pole to the next in the exact same manner. And knowing that what goes up must come down and what goes down must come back up helps us deal with the vicissitudes of the modern condition. The next one is the law of cause and effect. Everything in the universe has a cause and an effect. All effects have a cause and all causes have an effect. There are many planes of causation, which means that's probably why you may not be able to see the cause of whatever's happening to you in your life, but that doesn't mean it's not there. And a lot of people live their life as effects, moved around in life by, governments and societal pressures and trends, and constantly being changed and being used as an effect by some sort of cause. But if you can learn the rule of cause and effect, learn to be a cause in your life, learn to dominate your moods, your emotions, your life, then you can become, the mover of the chess piece in life. According to the Kybalion, masters obey causation on higher planes, which is where the argument that there is no free will comes from. But the reason they do this is because they recognise that by obeying that cause, that gives them the effect of having power on the material realm. And the last one is the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has a masculine energy and everything has a feminine energy. Everything contains both, and so do you. The masculine is the energy of action. The feminine is the energy of receptivity. And finding a harmonious balance between the two in your life, which is learning how to, #hustle grind, while also learning how to sit back and allow, ideas and inspiration come to you, let's say, is the key to living a life full of harmony and fulfillment. So they say. Anyways, there you go. 7 laws of the universe. Not too shabby for a fucking 10-minute YouTube video. See you next time.